Hi Gordon. Today we're going to change the auxiliary water pump that's used in the climate control system on a 300D turbo. Also, I believe the 300Ds had this too. And some of the early models it existed. The climate control system wants to control the water flow. And to have an effective climate control system, they need to be able to regulate the water flow, so they can't depend on the pressure necessarily that exists from the engine. So they want to turn an auxiliary water pump on and off, and these things frequently go out. There's just a little 12-volt motor that runs a pump. It's located on the passenger side of the engine toward the front, kind of behind the radiator, real close to the alternator, and you can see this little 12-volt motor right here, and attached to it is a pump. We're going to change the whole thing out. The symptoms are that when the thing goes out and it stops pumping water, when you turn the heater on, you might find that the heater is warm in the beginning, and then especially as you sit in idle, when this pump stops working, you don't get much water flow through the heater core, and so the air temperature for the heater really starts to cool. And then you notice as you drive the car, you get a little more heat because you do have some flow as a result of the engine running at a higher speed, but you don't have the flow that you really need to make the heater warm. So those are the symptoms for this pump. They go out, and sometimes people don't even notice. They just know that their heater isn't working quite as well as it should. If we look at one, we've got a rebuilt one here we're going to replace it with. The pump is here, and of course the little 12-volt motor. And actually the thing is real easy to replace on this particular 300D turbo. It just slips right out of a little rubber mounting assembly that it's in, and it unplugs, and then we just need to take a couple of screws off. So before we pull that pump off, we want to drain the radiator. So as you may recall, the plug to drain the radiator is right underneath here. This one is blue, and you can see that it's right toward the front of the car is where you suspect where it might be. And it's plastic with a little O-ring on there. So we'll be kind of careful not to break it. I've twisted some of them off, putting them back. A couple of seconds of that, and while we're doing that, let me see if I can... Okay, now that we've got the radiator drained, and I've just loosened these two clamps, and of course I pull this plug off. You just unplug it. It's got a little standard Mercedes 2-prong plug on there. So now I've drained the antifreeze. We're still going to lose a little, I'm sure, because there's probably a little more left in the block. I've got a pan underneath there. Probably a little bit will come out. That's in left in the block. Still draining a little bit there, and then this stuff is awfully slick. Okay, and then once we've drained it, you see the pump, this particular mounting bracket, just slips right out of there. So that's the used one. I'm going to set it over here. And then put our rebuilt pump back inside there. Twist it in there correctly. And then let's put the two hoses back on. A real simple job. And tighten up our clamps, and then we'll put our antifreeze back in. Plug it in. And we're almost done.
Mercedes are real smart about their plugs. They fortunately make them where you can't plug them in incorrectly. They'll only go one way, so. There we go. Now we'll just add the antifreeze back and we'll be done. And I'll take it to the car wash. Someone will spray all that antifreeze off there. That will eventually take paint right off, so we need to spray that off. But otherwise we're okay.